Welcome to Friday on the Damage Pre-Port. We've got Brett coming up in just a little bit. And actually, I've got a bit of a surprise related to that. Not for today, but I'll let you know about that in just a minute. We do have some trash that's going to be thrown away. Trashy's still wearing his holiday attire, keeping warm as it gets cold here in LA. Very glad to see you all here. We got some fun little stories to talk about during this pre-port. A ton of news coming up in the full show. Barack Obama's closing arguments in the Georgia Senate runoff. We've got the annihilation of the special master, which I guess has been a long time coming. We've got the Alex Jones, Kanye West just falling apart live before our very eyes. Everything's apparently looking much better for Marjorie Greene. She's going to make that case. And I've got my garbage person of the week coming up. So we're going to jump into all that. JR, of course, will be going live in about 10 minutes. So everybody, please hit the like button if you haven't already as we launch into our news. We're going to start off, as we always do, with our numbers. A little bit of good news, bad news. Good news, again, several cents. That's 2.2 cents drop in the national average gas price. We're less than 10 cents from where we were a year ago. It is just massively dropping, and hopefully that will continue, but we know how this goes. It sometimes does reverse itself. Similarly, on COVID, you can see we have almost already hit 50,000 daily cases. Those numbers are beginning to tick back up. Other numbers as well. They have the test positivity rate change going up. It still looks at the same 10% that I've seen before, but you might be seeing much more of an increase in some areas. Hospitalizations and people in ICUs are beginning to climb quite a bit as well. So, some bad news when it comes to the COVID. Some good news. Derby Bosoms Dragon! There you are. Thank you again for that. Very finely crafted warm weather attire for Trashy with the nice adjustable straps so that it will fit. You never know, as you pump more trash into that, it might get bigger or something. But anyway, yeah. So, good news when it comes to gas, bad news when it comes to COVID. And they might even interact. It's possible. If gas prices going down, people will travel more, spread more COVID. So, watch out about that. A man, Connell Walter Harris, is now facing felony charges after, it was about 4 days ago, was in Minneapolis in a gay bar and pulled a gun out and threatened people. Which, no matter what the situation or the context, is a terrible thing to do. Why are you bringing a gun to a bar? But can you imagine, in the aftermath of the Club Q mass shooting, you not only decide, you know what, I'm going to a gay bar, I'm going to bring my gun. Also, I'm going to whip it out and start threatening people. Knowing that, everyone that can see that is terrified that, oh dear God, it's happening here too. Now, thankfully, that didn't actually happen. There wasn't a mass shooting. But a lot of people would understandably be very scared about it. I mean, they would have been even without Club Q, but stop bringing your freaking guns everywhere. Jesus Christ. Anyway, in lighter news, I guess, sort of, Sasha Grey has had to confirm that she is not, in fact, helping to recruit soldiers for the Russian army. There is this supposed Kremlin recruitment billboard that's been going around. She responded to it on Twitter. She is, of course, if you don't know, a former adult film star. So she definitely didn't do this. The extra layer of how fake is this news is that billboard actually up? Because it is spreading quite a bit. That doesn't mean that it's a real image that is really on a billboard. That hasn't been confirmed yet. What we have right now is her obviously not wanting to have her integrity besmirched by being tied in any way to the barbaric invasion of Ukraine. But we don't know if it's actually being seen by real people in Russia. We will see about that. Okay, we have quick update. We talked earlier this week about the county in Arizona that was like, we're just not going to certify the vote. We have no evidence that anything went wrong, but we don't like it, and so we don't want to certify it. And that would be bad for a couple different reasons. The first being that we have a lot of worries about how this might become more widespread in the 2024 race. We don't want to see any precedent for it. but also it could have interfered with the actual results of a couple of elections. You had Kari Lake jump out and say, they're saying you could face legal consequences if you don't certify it. Whatever. Damn the consequences. You guys go to jail to help me out or whatever. Now, thankfully, good news for you, they didn't end up actually doing that. After the threats from the judge, the county did actually certify the election. So, you know, there's plenty of reason to still be worried about this. We know that there's a lot of people out there that want this to become a more common thing, and they definitely want to sway the election in 2024. So don't let your guard down following this, but at least they didn't succeed in this case. Yeah, I mean, look, maybe further up the line they'll try to decertify. I don't know, but as of right now. Okay, let's see. No, I don't care enough about Tim Pool to actually read that now that I think about it. Okay, here's what I want to do for just a couple of minutes. There's a new Indiana Jones movie coming out, okay? Don't worry, we're going to talk about Kari Lake. And they have de-aged Harrison Ford for it. I am very worried about that as a concept. I haven't actually watched the trailer right now. We're going to watch it together for just a minute and see, is this a good thing? We could also debate whether Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is a good title, but, you know, whatever. Okay, here we go. Indiana Jones 5.
I miss the desert. I miss the sea. And I miss waking up every morning, wondering what wonderful adventure the new day will bring to us.
Those days have come and gone.
Perhaps not.
That wasn't him de-aged yet.
Magic,
Just to be clear.
but a few times in my life, I've seen things I can't explain. And I've come to believe it's not so much what you believe. It's how hard you believe it.
Who is this man?
I'm her godfather. Get back.
Okay, so what are people thinking? What do you think? Oh, do you think I played too much of it in this? I think they want the trailer to get out. But anyway, okay, the whip thing was good. Okay, let's see. Indy being replaced by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, true? I don't know about that. I do think that she's going to make a great sidekick in it. Certainly better than Shia LaBeouf or something like that. She should. I hope that she was involved in the actual writing of it as well. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not like the biggest Indiana Jones fan in the world, but I do think that the third is very good, and that looks good. It's hard to get a real feel for the plot, but and it doesn't look like a lot of it features the de-aged Harrison Ford. It looked like it was just a little bit, and we only saw it for a second, but it looked pretty convincing, honestly. We'll see once he's moving around and talking and everything. But the stuff where he's older, he seemed to be. I'm sure they were using stunt doubles a lot and everything, but overall, that didn't look bad. I will say, though, I don't especially love the message at the end of the day or whatever. It doesn't matter what you believe, but how hard you believe it. I think it actually matters what you believe. I think that a lot of people believe a lot of absolutely insane bullshit very strongly, and that's bad. So, I don't know about that thematically. Ryan Reynolds as the new Indiana Jones, I don't know. They'll probably end up doing that, but May Money, you're defending Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf. At long last, Shia LaBeouf. Okay. Look, Dragon says, 20 years spent in the Navy and retired a chief, and all the Republicans who claim to be thankful for my service attempt to overthrow democracy. 100%. Okay, well, let me give you a little bit more good news to close things off. Teased it in the title. Kari Lake. Okay, so She is going to now be fined after filing a lawsuit accusing county election officials of violating election laws. Now, what you might think, God, well, if you're going to do this, then clearly you must have come with some good evidence or something. Well, welcome to American politics on the right wing. No, she didn't have any good evidence. And again, they really just think you can just sue people and it's like rolling the dice. We'll see what happens. No, that can be bad for you, actually. So take a look at what the judge said. Okay, John Tucci said in his decision that Lake made, quote, false, misleading, and unsupported factual assertions. I love that they were false and misleading and unsupported, claiming unauthorized persons manipulated voting machines during the gubernatorial election. Also, they alleged that, well, the judge said that her and her team lied about how they voted to make it seem as if they had difficulty in voting when they didn't actually. So they lied about the overall problem. They lied about their own personal experience. And she is going to be fined. Tucci goes on to say, imposing sanctions in this case is not to ignore the importance of putting in place procedures to ensure that our elections are secure and reliable. It is to make clear that the court will not condone litigants ignoring the steps that Arizona has already taken towards this end and furthering false narratives that baselessly undermine public trust at a time of increasing disinformation about and distrust in the democratic process. And so, we don't yet know what the fine will be, but she will pay for this. We'll see if she's able to just use campaign funds or whatever. But she has now, in the tradition of Donald Trump, who she wants to run with, been absolutely laughed out of court. The unfortunate thing for us is that that's not going to hurt her reputation amongst her fans. The fact that she wasn't able to bring any actual evidence will be ignored by them as easily and casually as the dozens of times Trump was thrown out of court for the exact same reason. But all of her avenues to somehow still become governor, they're gone. This thing is done. We're not done with her, probably. She's going to be sticking around and she's going to run for something, probably vice president in 2024. But for now, she is looking as pathetic as the rest of them. Okay, with that said, J.R. Jackson is now live talking about Kanye West. Jackson White has joined him. It is the Jackson Hour. I'm going to be joined by Brett Ehrlich on my own show, and we have so much to talk about, so you should definitely join us for that. Reminder that yesterday, my most recent short story was released at patreon.com/John Idarola. I love this one. It is a Christmas-themed story of trolls and mechs and fighting and adventure and the holiday spirit. And so that's available at patreon.com/John Idarola. Anyway, I will see you in just a little bit. Hit the like button on the way out if you haven't already. But bye for now.